Imagine taking your business from $250,000 a year to over $1 million in revenue. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing it. This is a real life case study where I'm rebranding and scaling step by step. And I'm using tools like AI and Fiverr to make it happen fast and on a budget. In this video, I'll break down how I use AI to create a complete brand guide. I'll also show how I work with an incredible Fiverr designer to bring it all to life. Oh, and stick around, there's a free brand guide template waiting for you in the link below. It'll help you kickstart your business journey. All right, today we're gonna do a full rebrand of CD Orlando, and we're gonna walk through the entire process of growing this business from $250,000 to $1 million annually. Now, I actually consulted for this firm 5 years ago. I helped build their website, we left the branding alone, and we built it on Shopify. The first year we did that, they over doubled. We did other things like Google ads and a couple online scheduling, which you can see here, which made a big difference for them. We just made it a little bit easier for people to book and find them, but we want to start scaling. They started hiring people, they're growing, they're happy, and they want to bring in more people, and we want to do some SEO. And so to do that, we want to move from Shopify to WordPress. But before we just move everything the way it is, this website's 5 years old, business for over 30 years. This logo is 30 years old. It has their address in there. Doesn't make any sense, especially as this company kind of moves towards digital, where they can do online counseling and things like that, and Zoom calls, as they've kind of started to do that through COVID and had a lot of success. They want to continue to build on that. So we're looking at this. Right now, we're really just looking at the brand and how to do that. So I have a couple strategies. I basically built out a simple template of what we want to look for when we're building that brand and rebuilding it. They never spent a lot of time building the brand story, the mission behind what they're doing, their slogans, things like that, which for local brick and mortar, it's still important. But as you get digital, you get more competition when you're doing virtual and things like that, and you want to advertise to a farther, wider scope and attract a new, younger audience. This kind of walks you through everything that we're gonna do. And to do this, I'm less creative, so I actually use AI for a lot of my first round. If I'm gonna do it personally, I have a full PR agency that helps me with things like this, and I bring in a whole team when it's a big brand, but this is basically no budget. So we're just kind of doing this as a favor. Basically, the first thing we wanna do is look at what their mission, vision, why, core values, this kind of center of that brand. And one of the things I really like to highlight is why. Why are we in business? Why are we doing this? Why are we hopefully helping someone? What's the reason behind that? And the why is so critical, not only to help advertise, but also for your team. Once we figure out that piece of it, which we're gonna use AI for the first draft, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I would go ahead and do it with a company that already exists. Then we're gonna do brand positioning. So who are we targeting? And this will kind of all be together, as we want to figure out, we can't really explain why until we figure out who we're targeting. So we have to look at all of this together. Market analysis, looking at competitors, things like that, unique value proposition, and then we'll get into the logo, the icon mark, color scheme, type graph, and basically tone of voice. We need all of this basically to build out the website and to make sure that the editor and the designers have pieces to put together and can help tell a story about the business, brand story, website design, materials, social media, all of this. It seems like a lot, but it's really not that complicated when you're using AI tools and you're kind of building out a foundation. When I use AI, it's very much a first round. So it gives me a whole bunch of ideas. I give it to a professional. The professional comes up with their specific section. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the graphic design piece of it. Then we're gonna go back and revisit everything, make sure it all aligns. Then we'll hand it off to the web developer. So there's a lot of stages in this. All right, so I already did this once because we're a little bit farther along in the process, but I want to start over. So I use this AI prompt, which we're gonna go ahead and use again, basically explaining how we want to position this company. So the company originally was Child Development and Diagnostic Center. Their original domain was Child Development and Diagnostic Center of Orlando, Florida. A few years ago when we did that rebrand, we rebranded it as CD Orlando, but kept Child Development and Diagnostic Center. And we're gonna try to do that throughout this process as well. We don't want to erase the original brand. We just wanna morph it into what's going to be more relevant and also easier to find. So I'm gonna put this in here, and then I'm actually going to take screenshots. And it's not a super complicated website, but I'm gonna go ahead and print this as a PDF. Let's just say home. And then I'm gonna do that with the services as well, so they know what services we offer. The more we can tell this system about the company, the better it's gonna do. We'll do it on the booking page. We'll do the about page because that tells them about the company. And then I'm gonna take this sample brand guide that we created, not this one, this is the templated one. And I actually already have it downloaded, but I'll download it again. Download as a Word file. And if you guys want this brand guide for free, go ahead and use the link down below and you guys will get full access to this. There'll be a whole bunch of other tools. You can see that I'm building this out with all my free tools. Every time I do a video, there's usually gonna be a tool that goes with it. So in ChatGPT, I'm gonna go ahead and attach all of these. So basically everything I just got. Okay, so my files are uploading and basically I put in the sample brand guide and I'm gonna just tell it to answer all of the brand guides based on the current website and the material I've given. So this will help me shape what I'm gonna hand off to my designer. And I'm gonna go ahead and hire that designer on Fiverr because this is a budget project. I do have some designers I work with, but they're fairly expensive. And so for this project, we just want a simple logo. We're gonna actually hire them to do basically the full visual brand guide. So it'll be the favicon, which is like the icon that's up in a corner. So a favicon looks like this right here. And it'll be the social media icon, it'll be social media banners, it'll be the logo, it'll be the typograph, the colors, the gradient. So very powerful to help hand that to a website developer and have someone then go develop the updated website based on that brand guide. So that's why it's so critical to do that step first. All right, so everything's uploaded. I'm gonna just go ahead and submit. And it's literally just gonna pump out stuff. Again, I've already gone through this and curated a couple versions of it, but this is exactly what I would give to my designer based on this information. And I would obviously read through it, modify it a couple times, really make sure that it is exactly as close as possible to what I want to go into that brand guide and to identify with that brand. So making sure that it's true to the business so that way we can basically check this off and go to the next step. So we'll scroll through, it's probably pretty good. It even talks about the logo. So the next thing you can do, and what I did was I described a little bit of what I wanted for the logo. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask it to give me some logo samples for my graphic designer. This will help give a template, and then usually I'll go find a logo that I really like as well. So this is good too though, because I can give them ideas to start, and of course read through them, make sure you like them. They're the ones that are gonna work best with you. So AI is just a tool. You need to make sure that it's representing, and the more descriptive you give, if you put in a sample of ones you like, you're gonna get better results. So now I wanted to actually draw this for me so I can give the designer something, and I'm gonna play with the AI version until I get something close. And it's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be ideal, but it's gonna give them an idea because I'm not a designer, I'm not good at this. That's actually pretty cool. I don't like the child reaching for a star. But I like the way this CD Orlando came out with Child Development and Diagnostic Center. Obviously, I didn't spell it right, but again, just an idea. So let's do, okay, I like that, but let's go simple gradient with family in the middle. All right, so I told it what I liked, I told it what I didn't like, and it's gonna give me another version, and we'll go back and forth until I get something close. Occasionally I find that I have to open a whole new chat, and there's different softwares that do all this. My goal is not to have a final logo, not even close. My goal is to have something to give to my designer. And I actually kind of like this. So this is a good piece of the icon. I would put that instead of this circle. So now I have something. Now the goal is to go find a Fiverr logo designer. So let's go. Okay, so I put in logo designer, but I actually want a full brand guide or brand kit. So you're just gonna search for those specific terms. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna share who I'm using just because I built a relationship with them and I don't want them to get flooded because I wanna keep using them. I have a relationship outside of Fiverr now, but basically you're gonna come in here and you're gonna look for people that are in your budget. One, you like their samples. Two, I always look for reviews and quality. So pricing is also deceiving because a lot of times they'll have their absolute lowest price here, which is, a garbage product. And then I typically will go with their highest package just because I want their best work. I want them to care about working with me. And a lot of times, depending on the budget, I'll hire 2, 3, 4 developers. Usually 3 is the max, and I'll let them all try. So I can get a whole bunch of variations much cheaper than I would hire one designer. And a lot of times I get much better results than if I was to hire a designer for $4,000 or I hire 4 designers here for $200 each. A lot of times I get a better result until I build that relationship with who I want to work with. It's basically testing suppliers so I know who's going to do the best job. So let's come in here. These all have really good reviews, 1,000 plus. So time is important to me, design in 24 hours. Lower reviews though. So let's go with top rated doesn't necessarily mean that they're any better. So I'm gonna just open a new tab in here and I'm gonna look at it. Do I like the work? I don't love the work personally. So let's try, this one is a little bit more my style, the sample they had up there. These are all more my style. I like this work. And then we're gonna look at the packages here. And like I mentioned, a lot of times I go with their premium. 5 concepts, logo transparency, which just means you can use it in, it's see-through with a background. Vector file means full quality, which you want. Includes 3D mockup. I usually don't use those. Include source files you do want. And social media kit, which I want. This seems like a good person. A lot of times you can message them, so contact that person and tell them what's going on. Send them over the entire document. So basically send them over these samples here and all of this information and say, hey, I'm looking for this design. Also send them over the website. We're looking to update it, give them as much information as possible without being overbearing, so that they can do a good job. If you contact them, a lot of developers will do drafts for you with like a logo mark on it so you can't use it before you even pay, because it's with Fiverr, the nice thing is you don't really pay until you're satisfied for the most part. And if you don't like the job, you'll usually get your money back. Another reason why I like using it, as long as they do the work, I don't ask for a refund. But if it's like they never deliver, it's hand drawn and it's not supposed to be, whatever that is, I have in the past gotten refunds there. So that's what I would do, and I'm gonna show you some examples of the kind of results we're gonna get. So this is that specific project. First, I'm gonna go ahead and show you one that I've done in the past with one of my designers. So this is a brand that we worked on. It's a simple brand, it's a recruiting firm, but you can see it shows you the slogan, all that materials that we just kind of built. Again, we just did a first draft. I always say you have to spend a lot of time curating these, reading through them, understanding them, rewriting them, have other people's opinions. I've used polling software. I've asked all my friends, even every time I do a logo, I send it to 10 people and ask what they think. Mission, vision, why, brand story. These are all pieces that are gonna be critical throughout the branding, the website, putting things up on LinkedIn, all of that. So this is what a full brand guide should look like. You have your logo, your icons, and it just continues to show you everything. I'm just gonna scroll through this quickly so you can see the favicon. This just gives you everything you need to hand it over to a developer to then go build a pretty good website with gradients, just a very full visual image of what you want that brand to look like versus just using, it's basically taking that AI and turning it alive. It has t-shirt design, so it's very comprehensive. I think this was a job well done. But in here, we'll show you basically variation. So this was what we came up with using AI originally. So these were 2 examples of things that I liked and sent to the designer. And from there, the designer sent me a whole bunch of variations. So we did 3 revisions with him. So I just wanted you guys to see the whole process. So we came up with this one, which I didn't love. It was a little too simple. I don't think it told any story. And this wasn't the full brand guide. This was just the first couple pieces of it. And so again, usually these designers, they're gonna have, it's not gonna be exactly what you want the first revision. But again, that's why it's nice working with these people, especially if they're fast, is they're gonna be able to get things done. So I gave them feedback. I think I said that this was close, but I didn't love it. I didn't give them the AI version the first time around. So the second time around, I gave them this AI version. And that's where we got a little bit closer. So we'll go into revision 2. This time he sent me 5 variations. And you can just see that they've gotten a little bit better each variation. So I didn't like that one. I really liked this one, but I hated the color scheme and the hand seemed off to me. I looked like there's a negative space bat issue. So I'm just showing you guys kind of what this process looks like so that you don't get frustrated the first round. I did like this one a lot. I like this one. So I liked a lot of these and I just gave them feedback. I think this was the one of my favorite ones that I liked, but I wanted, the owner wanted people inside of it. They wanted a family, because if you look at their current brand, and we don't want to erase their current brand, that's what we have here. So we have some sort of family, people, it's around child development and family. So we have to understand the story behind it, the mission behind it, and the audience. So let's go back in, and then we got it right on the 3rd revision. So not that bad. And that was over, I paid for expedited service. So that was over 2 days. Here are all the variations. So I liked this one, not quite what I wanted. I didn't feel like there was enough negative space. This was the one we ended up going with. So we kind of captured that family vibe, people inside, cool warm colors, and then it kind of married everything and all the feedback we gave together. Other ones that we liked, this was also pretty good. Just other variations, a little too busy. And the nice thing is we were able to give and get feedback throughout this, send it to friends, send it to family, looked at other designs. So this is what we landed on, and the designer is going to finalize that entire guide for us. Okay, so that's basically it. Once that brand guide is finalized, so he has the approved design, he's going to create the entire brand guide for me. The next step is I will outline what the entire website looks like. I'll use AI for that, and I will send over an AI version to my designer, and basically I'll give him the new brand guide and the design of what I want the new website to look like with the old website. So he'll have plenty of content to go off of. He's not gonna be responsible for writing, he's gonna be responsible for positioning that brand and retelling the story. And one of the reasons, again, why we're doing this is because, well, first off, we wanna do an update. The next piece is we want to connect with a younger audience, because people are, obviously the brand is over 30 years old. And then we want to start doing some SEO locally with SEO firms, and WordPress works much better for SEO than Shopify does. If you guys like content like this and you want to see me take this business from $250,000 to $1 million over the next couple of months just by doing some simple marketing strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, that brand guide link's going to be down below. And next time we'll show you kind of how we put together that website and what the process looks like and the variations that we have to go through. Thank you.